Hey, it's me, Curtis. Welcome to the show. Got a good one today. In fact, I hope they're all good. Going to kick it off with a friend of mine, Jameer Reynolds. He runs MCCT, Marin County Corporation Team. Message about mental health. Then another good friend, Dan Williams, is going to share some canning tips. Dan is an award-winning canner from Novato. He's won a lot of awards around the state. Going to end with three young entrepreneurs that are part of an incubator that Jameer and I run down in Marin City. Enjoy the show, and remember, spread love.
Hello, my name is Jameer Reynolds, and I'm the founder and executive director of the Marin County Cooperation Team. I'm here today to talk to you about the importance of mental health, especially in the workplace. The Cleveland Clinic conducted a survey that showed at 46% for employees taking between a 5 and a 10-minute break at work improve their mental health. Mental health is a very important issue, and that is why here at the Marin County Cooperation Team, we have decided to close our offices for a week. As the leader of this organization, I believe that I am only at my best when all my employees are operating at an optimum level. And so we want you all to take some time for yourself. It's okay to say no, and let that be the full sentence. Take care of yourself, and I wish you peace and blessing.
The name of what this sauce is going to be called?
This sauce includes Ukrainian tomatoes, Italian Costoluto Genovese, San Marzano, and what I'm calling, it's called a Juliet, but I call it American Marzano.
Oh, I love it.
All right, we're getting our tomatoes ready for the grill to get some smoke on them. We've cut them on the equator, or on the half shell, as I like to say. And we're gonna just simply season them with just a tiny bit of salt. Like that, and a little pepper. Okay, so what I've got here is some finely chopped shallot, which I'm going to sprinkle a bit on top of these tomatoes. They will cook on top and get some smoke also. Take some fresh thyme and just sort of quickly scatter it over the top. Okay, here at the smoker, we're going to do just a slight drizzle, tiny drizzle of olive oil on top of these. Like that. All right, let's put our tomatoes on the grill here. We already have these beautiful heads of garlic. I have them smoking right here. Okay, today's tomatoes. This is called Lita Ukraine tomatoes. These were from Tomato Fest up in, seeds from Tomato Fest up in Mendocino. They sell several varieties of Ukraine tomatoes. These are quite beautiful, smaller plants, great yield in tomatoes, a really nice tomato. These are San Marzano and Roma combination. These are sauce tomatoes, not really eaten raw, they're usually for cooking. These are called Costoluto Genovese, an Italian heirloom tomato, which is a ribbed tomato. A very nice taste. These are chosen for their high Brix number, which is 5.5 degrees. So they got a nice sweetness to them. These are called Juliet. These are a grape tomato, which are related to the Roma tomatoes, and I'm calling these American Marzanos. But this is a lovely, lovely, great tasting tomato, great for sauce. And we are going to, on this one, add, I've got a little over a pound of cherry tomatoes, which I will roast in the oven separately. 300 degrees, a little olive oil on the pan, for about 30 minutes with convection. And it will take some of the moisture out of them, but then we'll run them through a separate fine sieve because the seeds are so small. And it's going to be mostly juice that comes out of it, and we'll add that to the sauce too. These are our smoked and de-seeded and the outside membrane scraped off, the skin scraped off actually.
And what kind of peppers are those?
This is a jalapeno right now, and this container right here will take all of the roasted and smoked tomatoes that I've done so far.
All 21 pounds?
No, 21 pounds. They'll sit overnight in the refrigerator with lots of basil ripped into them, and tomato leaves and tomato stems to give you that fresh tomato taste. Also in this, we will be getting some fresh tomatoes that have not been roasted or smoked, to add a little bit more freshness to it too.
Now, tomato leaves and stems sounds unusual. Where did you hear about that?
That is from Paul Bertoli. It's a suggestion he had for giving a fresher taste to your tomato sauces. This is our roasted cherry tomatoes that have just come out of the oven. I'm going to scrape them into a fine sieve because their seeds are so small, and extract the juice out of them, which will go into our bowl with the other tomatoes.
And what is the other tray of tomatoes?
The other tray of tomatoes is tomatoes that have been smoked on the grill and then put in a 300-degree oven with the circulation on, if you have that on your oven, for about 40 minutes. I'm sieving the cherry tomatoes that have been roasting in the oven for 40 minutes. I'm getting all the juice out of them. It's a very nice paste that I'm making. This is a mix of Sweet 100s and Sun Golds from our garden that we roasted. This is what we've gotten out of our beautiful cherry tomatoes. And this will go in our container with all the other tomatoes. And then immediately into the refrigerator to cool down.
Are you sure 21 pounds are going to fit in that container?
Usually. There we go. Oh yeah. This is a food mill, and I've owned this pressure cooker, pressure canner, pot for sometimes, and I realized that the bolts on the top that hold the top in actually work well with the food mill. It holds it in place and makes it much easier to mill all this tomatoes, all the tomatoes that I have roasted and smoked. And a fresh tomato too in there too. So yeah, then you've got a good way to hold this easily, and it all goes down in the bottom there. This is our tomatoes that we did yesterday on the smoker grill, and fresh tomatoes in there too. So what we do is...
What is the green material in there?
Well, we've got lots of basil, and we also have tomato leaves and stems in there that have been sitting overnight in here to give it a bit of a fresh flavor. Just fill this up. There we go. Let me just show, I'll take this off and I'll show you what it looks like inside. There's our milled sauce right there. Now what will happen after I've milled everything is that I'll put it in another large pot on the stove, and we will cook it down just a bit to get this ready to can. Okay, we have sieved all our tomatoes in the food mill, and then we put them in this big pot here. We're going to cook that down very gently for probably an hour and a half at least, to get some more of the moisture out. And we do want to have it on somewhat low, and you want to stir quite often. We don't want, there's a lot of residual sugar in these tomatoes. If you do not stir regularly, it will stick to the bottom and it will burn. So just be sure that you stir often, and we'll show you when it's cooked down to about the right consistency. Okay, we're going to take the jars out of the oven. They've been in for over 30 minutes at a 250 degree oven to sterilize. Here we have our pint jars that have been sterilized, and along with the screw top and the sealing lid, which we will be sterilizing in a pot of boiling water right over here. And I'm going to point out the sauce here has been cooking down very gently for almost 2.5 hours now. And you can see, if you look at it, it's got a little sheen to it, but it's got some body to it, as you can see. And we have scraped stuff off the top of it as it bubbled up, and now it's looking very good, very, very tasty. And you should taste as you go along. The more you cook it, the sweeter it will become. Okay, I keep this pan of lightly boiling water, just barely boiling water, to use for sterilizing things. This is what we use on top of the jars to direct the sauce into the jars. And now that that's been sterilized, I'm going to drop in the screw lids right into the pot there and let them sit there for a bit. Okay, I'm not putting the sealable lid in just yet. I'll do that once I've filled the jars to sterilize that. Okay, we're going to start filling our jars. The jars are nice and warm. This is called a hot pack, and the sauce itself is warm. Good thing to have. There we go. So I'm going to fill these up to and leaving almost 3/4 of an inch at the top. I'll show you in just a moment how I do that. I have this little ruler here. This is what I use. We want about 3/4. I'm going to come up just a little bit more. That's it right there, 3/4 of an inch. So we'll fill the rest of the jars to about that much. Okay, all our jars are filled, about 3/4 of an inch space there. I'm going to take these tops right here that have been in the lightly boiling water for about 5 minutes, set them over here on a paper towel. Now I'm going to turn this water down just a little so it's just gently boiling. And I'm going to take the tops that will seal and drop them in. Rubber side up, just let them slide right in the water there. They'll spend a couple of minutes in the water here, which will soften the top piece a little, help in sealing. So that stays. Okay, while our lids are softening slightly, we are going to work on a couple of items that helps to sterilize the tops of these jars before we seal them. The first thing I like to do is for a pint jar, I use a 1/4 teaspoon of citric acid powder, which you can find at any store that has canning goods. This helps to acidify the top layer, which is a good thing. Quarter teaspoon sprinkled right on the top, just like that. And of course, if you're using a quart jar, you would be using a 1/2 teaspoon.
What do you like about these types of pint jars that you're using?
This is a pint jar that has a shoulder, and that gives you a nice spot to take your liquids up to, and I like the shouldered pint jars quite a bit. All right, now we have acidulated the top of these, and now we're gonna put the lids on.
How long have you been making tomato sauce?
I think I started about probably 15, 18 years ago. I was not very good at it at first. I had some failures, but putting my jars in the Marin County Fair helped a tremendous amount because the judges give you so much information about what you're doing and how you did it. So that was a great learning experience. So now we've got the tops, both tops on, and we're going to do finger tight on each of these. Not too tight now. Just hot. Okay, time to drop our jars into the water. Carefully, it's very, very hot. Make sure your jars are stable in there. Perfect. And don't do that though. Here. There we go. And I think I can get 10 jars in here. Let's push this down a little. Hey, that's 40 minutes on these tomatoes. We're going to take them out now. Set for a second here. Careful on these. They're very hot. Yeah. And that is the top sucking down and sealing. So that's two of the top 3 of the 8. You don't always hear them pop, but they do suck down. And you can tell by feeling the top. If it's concave, you're in good shape.
Number 4.
Okay, give me your name and then what's your 3, 2, 1.
Good evening, my name is Alexis Haynes, chef and owner of Fully's Viso Cafe. Today we had a challenge, $25 limit.
And what'd you have to do with that $25?
For the $25 limit, we had to make 3 different appetizers for 10 to 12 people. And this is what I have. I have a house salad cup with spring mix, sliced tomatoes, and striped cucumber.
Show us that striped cucumber. Can you hold it up so I can take a good look at that?
Let's see. Here's a good one right there, chef.
Okay, how'd you do that?
I peeled it every other stripe,
Love it.
every
Okay.
other peel.
So that's dish one.
And we also have some Italian dressing
Okay.
to go with that. And I also have a flatbread pizza that I made out of Hawaiian bread with barbecue sauce, pepperoni, and cheese.
Oh, yes. Okay. On Hawaiian bread, that's that King Hawaiian roll, huh?
That's correct.
Love those things. Wow.
About 12 pieces.
Fantastic. And for the pièce de résistance,
I have a small dessert here. It is a sliced pound cake dressed with one of my homemade
that's beautiful.
homemade caramel drizzles.
Fantastic. Did you make that pound cake?
I didn't. It's semi
It's all good.
homemade.
It's all good. It's
And
all
I have
good.
some leftover cucumbers, and I made some cucumber water for our college.
This is her favorite thing, is cucumber water. All right. One.
Hi, my name is Chef Oren. Today's challenge was to take $25 and give 3 tastes of my soul, my passion. And so what I presented for you today was a vegetarian option. We have a fried cauliflower with a chipotle honey.
Ooh.
Right, so it's got a little spicy,
Okay.
a little sweet. I got my Caribbean bite here with the tostone chip topped with jerk chicken and avocado aioli. Then we have the steak chimichurri potato bites.
Steak.
Chimichurri potato bites.
Nice. All right. All right. All right. All right. Now again, Chef
Yes,
Oren.
yes.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
3, 2, 1. And your name is?
Tiana,
And the name of the company is?
my Sweet Teas Pastries. So come get it, enjoy some sweet potato pie bites, some pumpkin pie bites, and some cheesecake bites.
Cheesecake bites, pumpkin pie bites, and
Sweet potato pie.